Assistant Superintendent for the Nye County School District, Jerry Hill, spoke at a restructuring meeting here today at the Nye County School District office. This is regarding Rosemary Clark Middle School and them having a no-pass status for the last 3 years. What this has to do with is with the special ed IEP students, they say in that group, in that category, they're not meeting state standards. There's 12 to 15 students that are constantly not passing. And what that means is that they need to raise their standards. Rosemary Clark Middle School last year had to terminate 9 teachers because of budget cuts. This year they're slated for another 10. The state has them listed as having 1,224 students, when in fact they actually have 1,100. This is going to be an item of contention because it brings it back to the percentage of the 12 to 15 students that they're saying is not passing. So this will be brought up on appeal as far as that is concerned. And there also is another change in the restructuring of Rosemary Clark Middle School, and that will be that Jeffrey Skelton, who is the current principal of Rosemary Clark Middle School, is going to be changed, and no longer, instead, assistant principal Patsy Jensen from Pahrump Valley High School will be taking his place here at Rosemary Clark Middle School. We're going to be taking you to that meeting in which Superintendent Jerry Hill is speaking.
That should have been enough to guarantee AYP status. The problem is that in measuring AYP status, adequate yearly progress, it is not simply the scores of the whole school added together. What they do, and this is old information for most of you, is that they break down into subpopulations, meaning that students that are in special education are expected to make the same progress as students that are not. In terms of scoring for AYP, there are 17 ways to pass. Actually, it may descend into about 38 different ways. 38 different ways to fail and 1 way to pass. And the only way to pass is if all categories of students, all subpopulations, make the grade for AYP. So it is very easy for a school not to be considered making AYP if only a few students fail. And indeed, that has been the history of Rosemary Clark. When I discuss this with state people and with other people in my position or principals across the state of Nevada, what I learn is that Rosemary Clark, as I have always said, is the poster child for the evils of No Child Left Behind. It is a school that I believe is being unfairly labeled because of a few students who persistently do not seem to be able to make the grade in terms of AYP.
How are we going to restructure all this under these conditions?
I understand. I understand what you're saying. If you're looking for somebody to blame, you can look squarely at the governance of the state of Nevada.
Absolutely.
We are 50th
Absolutely.
in state aid to education.
And I do blame them.
We do not tax ourselves as individuals. We have no state income tax. We have a relatively modest sales tax. And the businesses and industry, namely the gaming industry and the mining industry, are not taxed at a sufficient rate. I will make one remark, and then I'm off of this because I hammer at this all the time. The easiest way to understand our failings as a state is the mining industry. Last year, the mining industry made $6 billion. That's profit, $6 billion. They were supposed to have been taxed at a 5% rate. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't pay 5% in taxes. I think I'm somewhere around 30%. They paid 5% in taxes, and they paid $35 million in taxes. When I saw that in the paper, even though I'm not a very strong math student, it didn't seem right to me. When I costed it out and averaged it out, it didn't come to 5%, it came to 1/2 of 1%. That's what the mining industry paid last year, 1/2 of 1%.